Assalamu alaikum. My name is Karina. I'm a native German, and this is my Revert story. I go back to the years when I was still in Germany. I finished my A-levels when I was quite young, and after my A-levels I did not know what I wanted to do. So I made the decision to go for 1 year to, like a gap year, to go to Spain and spend a year there and then come back to Germany and then see what I'm going to do. Little did I know that when I left Germany to go to Spain, I never came back to Germany. So I stayed, instead of 1 year, I stayed 11 years in Spain. I found my roots there. I've enjoyed my life. I made lots of friends. I had a good job there, and after 11 years I met so many English people as well in Spain, and after 11 years I've been given an opportunity to move to England. So I thought I'm going to take this opportunity because I've never been to London, and the people I've met in Spain were so nice that I thought, well, I'm going to give it a go, because if it doesn't work out I can always go back to Spain or even to Germany if I wanted to. So yes, so I packed my stuff in Spain, moved to England, and the moment I moved to England, the moment I set foot on the ground in England, I think this is where my journey to Islam started, where I did not know about. So this is the journey, and I see it nowadays. I see it that I've joined a long road, and that road was going to guiding me to Islam, but I did not know this. So I finished my degree in linguistics, but I never ever took the route to go into teaching. So I sat there in Birmingham one day in the school when I had a free lesson, and I looked up and I thought, Karina, what else do you want to do? So bearing in mind that I was already on the way, I'm going on the road towards Islam, right? So I said, I always wanted to work for an airline. I've never worked for an airline, so I wanted to give that a go. So I looked up and I found a position with Emirates Airline, but that was in Manchester. So I thought, well, I'll give it a go. I got the job at Emirates in Manchester, but now I was in Birmingham, not knowing how to get to Manchester, how to, I had to pack everything up, I had to leave everything behind, friends, and my new career started with Emirates already. So I've been going closer to my route to Islam, right? So I've been going closer without me knowing. I did not know that I was going towards Islam. So I need to fast forward a little bit. So I moved to Manchester. I joined Emirates, and after a year, when you work for Emirates, they sent you to Dubai to do a fam trip to familiarize yourself with Dubai, because Emirates want you to know about Dubai. So I remember when I arrived in Dubai the first time, and thinking about that, my background is really, I've come from a non-practicing Christian family, so we had nothing to do really with religion, but I always thought there must be something, right? How was the first person born? How was the first tree? How grew the first tree? So basically, I think you call it agnostics, so I was agnostic. So anyway, so we went to Dubai, and I went to the toilet at the airport, and I saw a woman washing her feet in the sink, and I was mesmerized by that. I looked, because I never ever knew that this is part of the religion. So I went to my colleagues at the airport, and I remember I said, "You won't believe what I've just seen. I've seen a woman washing her feet in the sink." So this shows you how little I knew about Islam, right? So anyway, I lived 4 years in Manchester, where I met my husband, and that is where the story gets closer to my destination towards Islam, right? So I'm still on that road to Islam, not knowing that my destination will be Islam, right? So I meet my husband. He's from Pakistan, a non-practicing Muslim, I have to be honest. And I remember when he said to me, I said after a while, when we decided we want to be together, I said, well, you know, I'd like to meet your family, you know. So they're all from here. They lived here all in Basildon, so in this in Essex. And he said, Karina, this is not going to happen. They're never going to accept you. And I did not know what he was talking about. And he said, because you're a white woman and you're not religious, you're not a Muslim, you will not meet them. So anyway, fast forward, his cousin got married in London, and he wanted my husband to come, and he said, bring her with you. That was his words, bring her with you. So we went, we were invited, we went, and we made a little story up that I was actually, I was pretending I was the friend of the cousin, an old school university friend. So we went to that wedding, and I stayed in the house of his auntie in Croydon, from Croydon, pretending I was a university student, and I pretended I did not know my now husband. But you know, some people are quite clever, yeah. So his auntie took me to the side, and she looked at me and she said, I know who you are. And I was so shocked. I said, oh, well, I thought she's gonna kick me out. I thought she's gonna say, pack your bags and go. But no, she said, leave it with me. I will speak to my brother, which is my husband's father, and to see if we can bring you into the family. So yes, so the story then carried on, and I'm still on that road, right? I'm still on that road towards Islam, right? I'm getting closer to my destination and not knowing where I'm actually heading to. So yeah, so she arranged, so the auntie arranged a meeting with my husband's parents, because she said to my husband's father, she said, look, if you don't allow her into the family, you will lose a son. And so they invited me to the family, they invited me in, and it was a bit like, I don't know, you probably have been to an interview, right? It's very nerve-wracking, right? It's very nervous, your heart really beats, right? But if you go to a private meeting with the parents, because you've got so much respect, this is even more, you're so nervous. And so I was sitting there and I was talking to the family. The father wanted to speak to me by himself without anyone about getting married one day. And but we were saying, we were sitting down, we're going to sit down, we're going to plan it properly, because with my family coming from Germany, joining us, and this was all the idea. And everyone, his parents, everyone said, yes, that's what we're going to do one day. We're going to sit down and we're going to speak and organize your wedding. But you know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had other plans, and we thought this has to come a little bit forward. My destiny, my road to my final destination has to come a little bit sooner. So one day I went forward to work. I had a job, so we moved in with the parents. I had found a job, I worked Monday to Friday 9 to 5 in an office, and on a Friday, I remember that was the 4th of November 2011. I remember it very well because that was you will find out in a second why I remember this date. So I go on the 4th of 11 on the Friday. I go to work, normal day, nothing happened, nothing. We didn't speak about our wedding, not getting married so soon. And you probably know now what's coming, right? So I go to work. My colleague asked me at 5 o'clock, just before we leave for the weekend, she says, what are you going to do this weekend, Karina? What's your plan for this weekend? And I say, not so sure, I'm not sure. Maybe going shopping or just chilling, getting to know the family a little bit better. So that was that. Then I drove home for a weekend, and the moment I set foot in my in-laws' house, little did I know that that was the moment where my life would be changing from now on to 100 degrees. So this was I was almost there in my final destination towards Islam. So my mother-in-law grabs me and says, look, you have a shower now. We have arranged a dress for you that's hanging there. You're gonna have a shower, you get dressed. We're gonna drive you to Walthamstow Mosque. You're gonna get married in about an hour. We arranged it for an hour, and you're gonna get married and you take your shahada. And I said, this is impossible. This cannot be. This cannot be. What? I said, my family is in Germany. I don't know anything about Islam. Nothing. You remember that story when I said, look, this lady is washing her feet in the sink. This is how much I knew about Islam. I said, I cannot do that. So I go to my father-in-law and I say, Father-in-law, I cannot do this. This is just too soon. And he said to me, look, Karina, you can learn. You can learn about Islam. You don't need to know everything before you take your shahada. So I went along with it. So I took the shower. I put on the dress and we drove to Wolfhamstone Mosque. In the car, I thought I was in tears. Inside, I was in tears, and I thought, what am I going to do? How am I going to get out of this? I don't really want this. And I was really thinking, should I ask the driver to stop the car and let me out, or what should I do? But I went along with it. But it was planned. The whole day was planned. I said to my husband, I said, did you know about this? He said, no, I did not know about this. So this was all planned between my husband's father and his sister. So we got to the masjid in Wolfhamstone. The whole family was there. The sisters, aunties, cousins, everyone was there. I thought, wow, everyone knew about this. So yes, I went along with it. We got married. I took my shahada, thinking I'm doing the biggest mistake in my life. So, and this is where I reached my final destination, not knowing that I'm there now. So I reached my final destination. This is now my journey to Islam. So I'm now a revert, taking my shahada. And now what? Now what? What am I going to do now? So everyone came, the days after, everyone came and said, Karina, you have to do this, Karina, you have to do this. I used to go to my husband's family. I took the hijab on. As soon as I left the house, I took the hijab off. So on, off, I went to masjid, I took it on. I left the masjid, I took it off. So, and I felt a bit naked. Every time, the more and more I looked into Islam, the more I felt naked not wearing the hijab. Because I felt when I was wearing the hijab that I carried the religion with me. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with me all the time. And when I take it off, I feel like I'm losing something. I'm losing my connection to the religion. So in 2020, I said to my husband, what would you say if I start wearing the hijab? And he looks at me and he said, are you sure about this? And I said, yes, I'm totally sure. So from that day, I was wearing my hijab, and I've only taken it off when I went to Germany, because I had my family, I've told them years and years later that I actually took my shahada. It took me a long time because my mum I could not tell her mum that what I did, because she was elderly and she would have probably not accepted it or not understood. My sister, slowly I explained, and she was fine. And I remember I was telling my best friend, and my best friend would not accept it. So I went to Germany, and I remember at the airport I took my hijab off for my own peace, really, because I knew what I was receiving, right, from my friends. I had two friends, and they were not understanding. They did not understand why I was wearing the hijab. So I went back to England, and I left the contact with these friends, because I thought they don't understand. Anyway, so now I was a Muslim. I was happy. I was wearing my hijab. I was doing my courses. I was learning. I was praying, and I felt good about this, right? So Islam is beautiful. Islam is actually, I was thinking, wow, I should have learned this sooner. But there was still, I was praying, I was learning, but there was still this inner spirituality was not there, right? So because in the past, I always liked to look into the spirituality. So I was always into yoga, meditation, everything that my heart, to keep me down from within, right? So this was not there yet in Islam. And this is when I remembered when I did my prayers, I did not do my prayers from the heart. I just did it because to tick it off, right? Okay, tick after my Fajr, tick after my Dhuhr, tick after my Asr, tick after my Maghrib, tick after my Isha, right? So, and I thought, this is not right, this is not right. So then I was looking into retreats. I wanted to go to a retreat for sisters. I wanted to get a community. I wanted to find the right community for me, where I can thrive, where I can learn, where I can get more into the spiritual side of the religion. So I looked into it, and I found a sister who was running a retreat up north in Yorkshire, I think, and another sister in Spain, but I didn't find anything else. And then I kept looking, and then one day I looked again, and that was actually only just last year, and I found Jamia Al Marif. They were up advertising a retreat in Norwich, and I thought, ooh, this has got my name on it. This is where I need to go. I think this could be the one, right? Because it's nearby and it's affordable, and it's 3 days, I think it was. It's not too long, 3 or 4 days it was. I think it's not too long. I gave it a go. So I contacted one of our sisters, and they said, come along, have a look what we are all about. So I came here last year in June, I think. It's about a year ago. And this is where I met this community, when I met our Sheikha the first time. And this is where my journey to Jamia Al Marif started. And I think this is really where, you know, that road I was taken to Islam, I think there was a little bit further I had to go in order to find my final destination. And I think I found my final destination here with Islam, because Jamia Al Marif gives me exactly what I need for my heart, for my spiritual awakening life. So I went to that retreat last year in August, and I retook my Shahada. So in 2011, you remember when I went to the Wolfenstone Mosque to get married and to take my Shahada? I took my Shahada because I needed to, I had to, I was forced to. I thought I was forced to. No, I see it differently. I think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has guided me to take the Shahada. Back then, because I did not know anything about Islam, I thought I was forced into it. Now I took my Shahada last year in August in Norwich, and that time I took it from my heart. I took it from my heart, and I could not ask for anything better. I am so blessed, and I feel so blessed, and I feel so grateful. And all the journey I went through, you know, the ups and downs and difficulties I think I had, these were guidance, you know. Back then I looked at it and saying, I was forced to it, I had to do it, you know. But now I see it as this was a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide me and to get me there. So now I'm here. I am a proud Muslim, and I'm telling you something. I will not take this hijab off. It doesn't matter where I go. If I go to Germany, anywhere, I'm officially, my passport photos have changed, my driving license photos have changed. I'm now a fully hijabi, happy, and I could not ask for anything better. So I'm really happy, and this is my little story to Islam, and I cannot wait what the future holds. So I'm really blessed and happy, and I can only say a big thank you to everyone at Jamia Al Marif.